In 1487, across the shadowed halls of medieval Europe, women accused of witchcraft vanished into darkness. But what happened next is so horrifying, most history books deliberately omit it. Torture, humiliation, and death were only the beginning. The truth has been buried for over 5 centuries, until now. What I'm about to reveal will shake your understanding of justice and cruelty forever. You will witness the brutal machinery of fear, the hidden instruments of torture, and the unthinkable lengths men went to maintain power. Asterisk, to understand the full horror, we need to go back to the late 15th century, when the Catholic Church and secular courts combined to root out supposed heresy. This was not a battle of armies, but of whispers and shadows, where a single accusation could condemn a woman to unimaginable suffering. Among the key figures were Heinrich Kramer, the infamous inquisitor and co-author of the Malleus Maleficarum, and Jacob Sprenger, who lent his authority to justify savage interrogations. These men wielded fear like a weapon, crafting a system where suspicion equaled guilt. The stakes were terrifyingly high. Accused women lost their homes, their families, and often their lives. Even minor missteps owning a herbal remedy, questioning a priest, or simply being too outspoken could trigger a fatal accusation. Evidence suggests that entire villages lived under the constant gaze of inquisitors, who thrived on the terror they inflicted. And while history often sanitizes these events, reports from the period reveal screams echoing through stone corridors and chains rattling in the night. The first accounts of women forced into confession through pain hint at a systematic horror that few dare to document. And this was just the beginning? Asterisk, but that's not even the worst part. Women accused of witchcraft were subjected to devices designed to extract confession by sheer agony. The rack, for example, reportedly stretched the body until joints dislocated, leaving the victim writhing in excruciating pain. Imagine being bound in iron, your limbs pulled until each movement threatens to tear flesh from bone. Contemporary accounts describe a terrified hush descending over the court as the victim screamed, the inquisitor calmly recording every detail. One woman, recorded in a 1488 trial in Trier, Germany, begged for death rather than endure the continued torment, yet her pleas were ignored. Evidence suggests that inquisitors often timed torture sessions to maximize suffering, returning women again and again until they confessed crimes they did not commit. And little did they know, the instruments themselves were only the prelude to a psychological terror that would haunt the accused long after the session ended. Asterisk, what happened next shocked, even hardened historians. After physical torture, many women were paraded through towns, stripped of dignity and publicly humiliated. They were forced to wear symbols of shame, such as the infamous witch's mark, while neighbors jeered. Records from 1491 indicate that some women were subjected to sleep deprivation for weeks, a method designed to break the mind while leaving the body alive. Imagine the endless nights, eyes open in terror, mind fraying with paranoia as the inquisitors whispered threats and accusations. The emotional toll was staggering. Mothers forced to watch their children flee in fear, wives confronted by husbands who turned against them under pressure, communities convinced of their guilt. Historians confirm that these psychological tortures were as deliberate as the physical, a sophisticated system to instill absolute submission. And this was just the beginning? Asterisk, the reality was far more disturbing. Evidence suggests that some women were drowned in ritualistic trials, often in public spectacles designed to terrorize entire regions. One documented case from 1489 in Switzerland recounts a woman tied to a chair and submerged repeatedly, the inquisitors noting her reactions with cold precision. Imagine the chilling water closing over your face, lungs burning, mind screaming for air, while spectators looked on as if observing livestock. Reports describe children hiding behind fences, villagers whispering in fear, and the accused finally gasping a confession, they did not believe. These events were recorded meticulously in church archives, yet many volumes remain hidden, ignored by modern historians. And little did the community suspect the Inquisitors' cruelty would escalate further. Asterisk, but here's where it gets truly disturbing. Some women accused were subjected to mutilation, reportedly including the cutting of fingers or other body parts as punishment or proof of witchcraft. Imagine the searing pain, the shock, and the helplessness, while Inquisitors justified the acts as divine will. Letters from 1493 detail a woman screaming for mercy as her body was marked as a warning to others. Such brutality was both punishment and spectacle, ensuring that fear spread faster than any accusation. And yet, despite the evidence, official records often framed these acts as necessary, righteous, or even virtuous. The ripple effects of this brutality would echo for generations, embedding terror into the cultural memory of entire regions. Asterisk, but the horrors did not stop there. In some regions of France, accused women were reportedly confined in pitch-dark dungeons for months. Imagine your only companions being rats and the echo of dripping water. Accounts from 1495 describe women scratching walls until bloodied fingers begged for relief, their minds inventing horrors that Inquisitors later claimed as proof of guilt. The victims reportedly spoke of shadows crawling across the stone, of whispered voices promising doom, and of losing all sense of time. Historical evidence suggests that these dungeons were a calculated form of psychological torment, designed to destroy identity and force submission. And little did the community realize, these women often emerged broken, their confessions hollow, yet meticulously recorded as truths in the official logs. Asterisk, and perhaps the most unthinkable, some women were forced to witness the torture of others before their own interrogation. Imagine standing in a freezing hall, watching neighbors screamed at, their limbs twisted in iron, every sound searing your nerves, while Inquisitors calmly instructed you to confess next. Documents from 1496 in Germany report that this method amplified fear, ensuring compliance and turning terror into performance. According to recorded testimony, many women later admitted that the psychological weight of witnessing another's suffering left them, incapable of resisting further torture. And the true horror was still to come. Asterisk, the aftermath for perpetrators was often minimal, allowing them to continue their campaigns with impunity. Kramer and Sprenger's manuals circulated for decades, instructing new generations of Inquisitors in the same horrifying methods. Meanwhile, communities lived with the trauma, passing down stories of the screams, the public shaming, and the disappearances. Modern parallels are chilling. Systematic abuse, institutional power unchecked, and fear wielded as a tool of control. Even today, descendants in regions once dominated by Inquisitors report family legends of women taken in the night, their fates whispered but never fully explained. This dark chapter still haunts us, a reminder that cruelty can be recorded, yet sanitized. Asterisk, and if you think that's horrifying, the truth about medieval Inquisitors' treatment of men accused of heresy is even more disturbing. I've uncovered detailed accounts of punishments that rival the methods used against women, including psychological manipulations designed to destroy faith and identity. Click the video appearing now. The secrets of history run deeper than anyone imagined.